SiLLY has had not only a risky but an extensive explosion in the Call of Duty esports world. Between the most generous of offerings and bold moves in the scene, this is going to be a name you'll want to bookmark for the upcoming Call of Duty competitive league. For those of you who aren't informed on 𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏, also known as SiLLY, SiLLY is currently a competitive player and slayer for the Minnesota Rokkr. He'll be playing in the upcoming Call of Duty League in 2020, and while he currently runs for Minnesota, his depth within the scene has already been well established. Today we're going to be diving into 7 things you didn't know about 𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏. Before we get into it, be sure you guys have dropped a like. It always supports us like crazy, and consider subscribing if you guys enjoy anything you hear or see today. Alright, so first off, after the Call of Duty competitive league for Infinite Warfare, SiLLY was trusted with the job of building the roster for his then team, United. Rather than picking trusted pros, a move that most people in his position would have made, SiLLY actually boldly took a solid chance for 3 amateur players rather than established pros. The players he enlisted were gunless, 𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏, and 𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏. In a show of absolute excellence, they actually ended up winning their first event immediately after in a blaze of glory, and beyond that, both 𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏 and 𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏 went on to become world champs during the Black Ops 4 circuit. And SiLLY has also shown amazing gratitude and generosity towards his fan base in the past. Just before CWL Fort Worth, one of SiLLY's fans tweeted at him expressing their regret that besides being a huge fan of his, they were going to have to spectate the event from home. They were very upset about it, and instead of letting this fan regress on the sidelines, SiLLY actually ended up stepping in and paid for him to attend the event and watch the game. Now that was a pure example of just being grateful for the position you're in and for the opportunity that you have and the spotlight, and just a pure example of giving back to those who clearly do show support for you. You know, not a lot of people could say they give back like that. You know, it's really easy to overlook the value of settings in video games, especially one that is seen as linear as Call of Duty, but the Call of Duty League actually has a series called Behind the Controller where SiLLY actually detailed all of his settings that he played on in Call of Duty Black Ops 4. He keeps a relatively high sensitivity of 7, citing that since he's a fast-paced player, he has to be able to react quickly. That's kind of understandable. He keeps his aim down sight sensitivity at a 0.75. He keeps his high zoom at default, probably because scopes don't typically come into play customarily with his playstyle. And like most high-profile players, he keeps his controller vibration set to off. He doesn't allow sprinting to cancel his reload, interestingly enough, and auto mantle is set to on, I guess to match his faster than average playstyle. And he also plays on a button layout of tactical. This is pretty standard for most players in his position, but it's still cool to have that insight to how the man himself plays the game. I mean, a lot of fans do look up to these players, so being able to see their settings is huge, and it actually could inspire a lot of people to change theirs. And according to the Call of Duty esports Wikipedia, SiLLY broke out on the scene in February of 2015 with his debut in Isolation Esports on Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. He certainly made some sound on that team, accumulating prize winnings here and there, but the further down in the scene he went as his timeline went on, the louder he became as a player, as you would probably expect. SiLLY's greatest moment as it stands in Call of Duty esports history was, interestingly enough, nothing too flashy, nothing too Rampage-esque, but more so just his victory in COD Champs of 2018 with his team Evil Geniuses during Call of Duty World War II. An impressive victory it was. I mean, to be able to have that title of saying, hey, I won. Now that says something, and it might actually say more than just being able to get a few kills back to back. Being able to boast that you were a part of literally winning a circuit, that could certainly speak volumes in the industry. Also, in an interview showcasing why SiLLY truly chose Minnesota to be his new home, he specifically targeted the fact that Minnesota's branding, the Rokkr, was super influential and powerful on social media. He said that he was a huge fan of the way the team portrays itself, the way that it puts itself out there, and just in general is impressed by how the team truly is represented and how the players would represent the team as well. Based on the way all of the players actually talk about the team in that interview, you could see that the Rokkr is a team that's kind of mutualistic and serves everybody in the team as a whole, not just individual players and individual egos. It could definitely be inspiring and refreshing to have that sort of environment while you're professionally playing a video game for a living. Being able to take all of your effort and invest it into an entity like your own team, it's powerful. It is always incredibly interesting to see what competitive players from a certain game think about other games in the esports ecosystem. We may not realize that even though these competitive players literally make a living off of playing Call of Duty, the initial drive to be a gamer and to explore other video games still exists. And whether we want to acknowledge that or not, players invest in other games. Maybe not so much for like professionally, but from a spectator standpoint, these competitive players are just like us. They could be fans too. During an AMA or an Ask Me Anything session back in 2018 on reddit.com, SiLLY was asked, what is your favorite non-Call of Duty esport? To which he actually replied, definitely Counter-Strike. So as you can see, while he does play Call of Duty for a living, while that's professionally what he does, he still spectates Counter-Strike, which is, and obviously another huge esports game. It's really interesting to see that even though that's his main game that he plays, even though he plays Call of Duty as his main, he still spectates and respects Counter-Strike and sees it as, a genuine thing that he wants to give his attention to. Sometimes people really do boil down esports players to be, kind of single-laned, but as you can see, they're multifaceted, just like us. And you know what? While we're speaking on that point, what non-Call of Duty games do you guys personally like, and what do you think was the most exciting aspect of SiLLY's career? Definitely let us know in the comment section. Let's talk about it and have a conversation, and I hope you guys have a great day.